OK, Carol, stay there. We'll be back to you in a moment or two. But already through the course of this morning, it's been a busy morning because the two leaders had a breakfast meeting in Downing Street. The President and the Prime Minister talking about the challenges facing the global economies. Mr Obama said there was enormous consensus now about what had to be done.
The American presidential motorcade comes to Whitehall. Armour-plated vehicles especially flown in for meetings aimed at rewriting the way the world banks and does business. The appointment, a couple's breakfast at Downing Street, Michelle and Barack Obama and Sarah and Gordon Brown. As wrangling over how to tackle the recession breaks into the open, the US president is once again looking to Britain for support. With new powers such as China and India coming to the top table, both men know that Western capitalism has failed millions and must now reform and prove itself again. Their foreign ministers, Hillary Clinton and David Miliband, then joined them. The recession is an issue that throws up challenges beyond economies, with millions being thrown out of work and alliances being strained. So a reassurance that the US and British special relationship, at least, is intact.
President Obama and I are agreed about the significance of this week's G20 meeting, that the world is coming together to act in the face of unprecedented global financial times. Our first duty is to those who are suffering most, the people anxious about their mortgages, their jobs, and their families' future. For them, the pain of recession is all too real.
The United States and the United Kingdom have stood together through thick and thin, through war and peace, through hard times and prosperity. And we've always emerged stronger by standing together. So I'm pleased that my first meeting overseas as president is with Gordon Brown, just as I was pleased to host him in Washington shortly after taking office. And I know that we both believe that the relationship between our two countries is more than just an alliance of interests. It's a kinship of ideals, and it must be constantly renewed.
Then a question that briefly left the American president without words.
The Prime Minister has repeatedly blamed the United States of America for causing this crisis. France and Germany blame both Britain and America for causing this crisis. Who is right? And isn't the debate about that at the heart of the debate about what to do now?
Well, apologies for leaving that piece, but you can see the President leaving Downing Street after that news conference that we saw in the Foreign Office. The President just getting in there to his car after what already has been a busy morning for him. And that was a fascinating news conference we've been listening to with the two leaders. Carol Walker, our political correspondent, talking to us a short while ago, describing how relaxed the two leaders were in each other's company, and certainly there as the motorcade just makes its way out of Downing Street and there, Whitehall, and you can see just the levels of security that we've got familiar to actually seeing with this first presidential trip from Barack Obama. The long motorcade winding its way out of Downing Street. Carol, I was just mentioning there and picking up a little of what you were saying, particularly with Gordon Brown actually alongside the President. He looked incredibly relaxed, Gordon Brown.
That's right. Gordon Brown, of course, famously is somewhat reserved in talking about himself, about his family and so on, but during the course of that news conference you not only heard Barack Obama talking about how he'd met Gordon Brown's two sons and had had a brief conversation with them about dinosaurs in between the discussions about Iraq, Afghanistan and the global economy. You heard Gordon Brown there volunteering how they discussed fitness and how they both try to get on the running machine to stay fit during the daily pressures of life running their respective countries. Gordon Brown talked about the personal friendship between them. Barack Obama talked about the sense of kinship that he felt with Britain and the British people. And I think that there was an extraordinary degree of warmth between the two, more than we're used to seeing from Gordon Brown, somebody who doesn't do this kind of warm personal touches as easily as many other leaders do, certainly not as easily as Barack Obama does. So I think that certainly Downing Street will be very pleased indeed at the way this meeting has gone, at the way the news conference has gone, and at the fact that Barack Obama and Gordon Brown were very much singing from the same hymn sheet in terms of what they're hoping to get out of this G20, stressing the areas of agreement and consensus there are between the countries, and stressing their optimism for an agreement that's going to mean something to people. It was interesting that both leaders talked about the human dimension, about translating any agreement on paper into something that mattered to people out there who are facing real difficulties during the economic recession.